Okay, guys, to continue. To continue. 2000, February of 2010. I got that frantic, sad call from my mom. And then I think I got one other message. I had talked to her for a second and she was blabbering on about whatever. I might have actually talked to her. She wasn't making any sense, but she's still my mother, I've been going through this with her since I was 10, 34 years, Marion later would tell me all this stuff. Marion would tell my mom I don't love her, that I'm only after her. Your daughter doesn't love you, she's only after your money, and yada yada, whatever, trying to drill everything into the mentally ill woman's brain, to turn the mentally ill woman against me, her daughter, It never worked, thank God. But, yeah, that's all fine and good for you to say, Marion, but funny how my mom and I have been like this since day one, and my mom only had money very recently, and she thought it was her money to help out her daughter. She wanted to help me out, she had never been able to help me out in her life. She finally had money and she wanted to help me out. She didn't know her family was going to turn against her for helping out her daughter. Like she told me, they help out their kids. Of course they do, Mom. They're allowed to. You're not. You're mentally ill. And if I accept any gifts of love from you, I'm taking advantage of my mentally ill mother. You think that's fucking fair, people? It's not. It's ridiculous. Anyway. I know there's some men out there that would see me growl and see me getting all angry and whatever and would think, oh God, I'd love to get that woman into bed. I'm with such a boring woman, or I've been with such boring women, and I know that woman would be very passionate in bed. And they would be right. If I found a fucking guy who could push my buttons, and I never have. I never have. The musician was the sweetest, kindest, one of the most beautiful souls on the planet, still is, but he was like too nice and too whatever, and then Donald was a total fucking prick, okay? The black guy I was with in college was just, I was too new into my sexuality. I was still a virgin, and I was real nervous, and you know what I mean? He was the first, what would Charlie Sheen say that, what can I say without saying, what I'm talking about? He was my first. He didn't wind up being the one who took my virginity, but he was the first. Use your imagination. Anyway, but I have not found a guy as of yet. I haven't given up total hope on that department, given up on love completely, but that's another story. But I haven't found a guy who could push my buttons, but I'm sure I have a lot of pent-up rage and anger and whatever, and I'm sure that a woman like me, that would really, really come out in the bedroom if I have the right guy to push my buttons, who will do it without cruelty, who'll do it with lust and love combined, I suppose, and acceptance and whatnot. But anyway, see, I always digress here. How do we get to talking about? Oh, my anger, because I just growled because I'm talking about Marion, what Marion did to me, yes, and then I digress as usual. Okay. So I talked to my mom again. Or I even talked to her again. Remember, she was talking crazy. Okay, man, that's par for the course. Okay, she's been schizophrenic since I was 10, 44. Okay, and I was Par for the course. But at some point, we got disconnected. See, I don't know if this was another message, if she sent another message before I would even bother to call the hospital, whatever, or I talked to her briefly in person. In any case, it was cut off either on the message. I think I might have been talking to her and she was talking crazy. They took her phone away. I think they took her phone away. I didn't call back right away. I didn't wait that long, though. I didn't call back immediately. Like, remember, she was talking crazy and, I needed a break. But when I did call back, probably a few hours later or whatever, I was told that my mom had been transferred to somewhere. And, of course, me, little did I know how much, I had just no idea. Every time I find out, that's why I believe Marion's up to something. I mean, every time I turn around, we find out she has more power, I mean, than I even previously found out or previously thought. It just gets worse and worse. Who knows what she's up to, Oh. Anyway. Okay, so, of course, what do you think I did? Your mom, where she's not here. She called me a little while ago. Yeah, she's not here. She's been transferred. Oh, really? Where? We can't tell you. What do you mean you can't tell me? What do you mean you can't tell me? Is this a joke? I'm sure I got angry. It's not their fault, as I came to find out. But what do you mean you can't tell me where my mother's been put? We can't tell you. I'm her daughter. We can't tell you. But I'm her fucking daughter. And no, I didn't swear or whatever. I don't even remember what. I was in shock. I'm sure I was starting to break down. What do you mean you can't tell me? We can't tell you because of the HIPAA law. You can't tell me where you sent my mother, who called and left me this frantic, distressed, horrible, sad message? You can't tell me? I'm her daughter. Can't tell you. What do you mean you can't tell me? I'm her daughter. I'm her daughter. We can't tell you because of the HIPAA law. Only your aunt. We can only your aunt can know. You have to find out from her. I have to find out from my fucking half-aunt where you've put my mother? Are you, is this a joke? I have to find out from my fucking half-aunt where you put my mother? Is this a joke? I'm sorry, Miss blah blah blah. Because of the HIPAA law, it's a new law. We cannot tell you. Only the person. We can only tell the person who has the healthcare proxy, whatever. We can't tell you where we sent your mom because of the HIPAA law. Oh, you've got to fucking be kidding me. You can't tell me where my mother is? You guys need to understand that I cannot get my mother now to understand the dangers of this in terms of me. Mom, if you love me, you have to stop this madness on Marion's part. She has too much power. We can't tell you because of the HIPAA law. What's the HIPAA law? Well, the HIPAA law is to protect patients from people calling up and whatever. We can only talk to your aunt. Only your aunt can know. Well, guess what happened? Oh, by the way, I wound up at one point calling my mom's phone, and I found out, and guess what it was? Remember, nobody knew that my mom had called me. Okay, so I called my mom's phone. Marion had this all planned. I called my mom's phone, and it was completely turned off, like it had been disconnected. You think Marion did that for any other reason than to show me, look at this, Laura, look at this, look what I did to you, you know, you can't even reach your own mom unless you bowed to grovel to me. She didn't know my mom had called me from the hospital, of course. Of course she didn't know. I know she didn't know. She turned off, and why did she turn off the phone? My mom was only going to be in the hospital for, what, 3 weeks or a month or something, right? She immediately canceled my mother's phone. It had been, it was canceled, it was disconnected. This was to send a loud and clear message to me, folks. Like I said in my other videos, I'm sick, not stupid. A loud and clear message to Laura. You're not going to know where your mother is, and you're not going to be able to reach her, and if I had not got that call from my mom, I wouldn't have known anything that was going on. You see what Marion does? And then my lawyer friend out here, well, you're just going to have to accept that, Laura, because you're crazy, and you've been deemed, says it nicely, but you're deemed crazy, and this, that, whatever, and if your mom won't fight it, there's nothing you can do. I already told you that, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, whatever. Marion has not been on the up and up in this, okay? It's all been deceitful. It's all been trickery. It's all been brainwash and manipulation, and the most thing that it's all been, you guys, is my mother is ignorant of the dangers of this power Marion has. It's just accepted in my family as what is. What is. This is just mind-blowing to me. We can't tell you where your mother is because of the HIPAA law. What's the HIPAA law? Well, it protects patients from people calling up and finding out where they are. I'm her daughter. Sorry, you have to go through your aunt. I called my mom's phone, and it had been shut off. Immediately, Marion canceled it, and she did that for one reason only, so I would be trying to reach. I know her, and she hated me. Remember, when she had done all that crap, just so you know, just so I'm being totally honest with you, when she had done all that crap to me in 2009 and blah, 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 and just everything I told you in those other videos, I was so angry with her that I sent to her husband half-naked pictures of myself from my Alicia's world. And I did that because of everything she had done to me. Think of all the things she'd done to me. My exes, my musician ex, the kind one, was like, was abuse. Well, she was trying to get me to hit her. You know, musician ex. Obviously, it's not rocket science, and I didn't take her bait. I sat there and I took it. I'm laying on this bed in agony because my poor mother had just gotten sectioned back to the same mental hospital who had released her, we thought she was better a month ago, and now she's sick again and in the hospital, and I'm here in her house, and Marion hates my guts, and Marion's like, look at you, you're disgusting. She's standing over me, okay? Look at you, you're disgusting. I have a better body at my age than you do at yours. And that's just one thing she said. Believe me, she said all kinds of other stuff. And this was because I had stayed in this house when she did not want me to. And I did it out of spite because my other family, the one who has cancer, didn't have it then. And the cousins, whatever, said I could stay. And it's my mother's fucking home. Why can't I stay in my mother's home when she's locked up in the nut house? Especially since she's asking me to stay. Even though she's a little kid, which you guys don't want. You want me to realize that. And blah, blah, you shouldn't listen to you, blah, blah. You know, she was telling me, please don't leave my house, stay until I get out, blah, 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 blah. And then if I can't come down, she's like a little kid, petulant. Like, I can't come today, Mom, I'll come tomorrow, I'll come in a few days. She'd be calling the other aunt and saying, I want her out of my house. But she'd be saying to me, I want you to stay. She's sick, okay? And later, but to them, I got from the good aunt. Remember, there's the bad aunt and the good aunt. The good aunt was always good, and now she's cancer, and she's still being good to me or whatever. But she wrote me this letter. From the good aunt. This is what I got from the good aunt. you know, your mom gave you a lot of money and blah, 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 and it doesn't mean she doesn't love you, but she wants you to leave her home, and if you don't, we don't want to get the police involved. And I'm thinking, you fucking bitch. You know you gave me permission. Marion comes over and screams at me and blah, 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 and suddenly everything's twisted around. You told me Marion knows how to twist everyone around. You understand? You understand? Oh, God. And for Marion, I got from Marion that she would do the same thing she'd done to my mother. She's known... I got from her, if you're not out of your mother's house by blah, 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 such and such time, I'm going to have you sectioned, put in a mental hospital against your will. She didn't do it. What does that tell you? She didn't have the power to do it. It was just empty threats. She didn't do it because, oh, goodness. Let's see. Just like I don't have a criminal record to this day, unlike Marion's two sons, one who spent a year in prison, a whole year, and she's going to throw stones at me. I hadn't done anything that she could get me sectioned like my mom, okay? It was empty threats that I didn't listen to. But the reason I didn't even listen to her empty threats was another weird coincidence. The night I was scared and I was going to leave, and the night I planned to leave, I wound up getting really hurt. I have a tendency to get hurt easily, and I actually stubbed my toe on this bed, right? Stubbed my toe. And I was still going to fly.